In this video, I'm going to show you how to get a couple more watts out of your Cobra 29 radio. Before I move forward, one disclaimer. I don't presume to be an expert in CB radios at all. My dad's been doing his best to teach me different things while he's been in the nursing home, so here's what I know. Moving forward, I'm going to use this oscilloscope to explain a couple of things with the CB radio. Currently, I have the CB radio hooked up to this oscilloscope. I want to show you what the signal looks like when you transmit with the CB. When you key the mic, you have a carrier. However, when you key the mic and you talk, you will actually see a waveform here. Audio. Audio. Now, in order to get this radio to run cooler when we transmit and get it to talk louder, we actually need to lower that carrier, right? So that it boosts the modulation because it acts like a seesaw. You lower that carrier, it boosts that modulation. You raise the carrier, it lowers the modulation. So I'm going to show you a modification where we can accurately lower that carrier to boost that modulation so that you have a loud sounding CB that's loud and clear. Let's take a look at the area that we're going to be modifying. Okay, so right here back towards the final transistor right here, we have a jumper called JP36 right here. We need to remove this jumper and replace it with a capacitor and a variable resistor so we can actually lower the carrier and ultimately boost the modulation. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so the area we're looking at is right here. This is where the jumper is here. And we'll suck this area out here. Now we can remove that jumper. Honestly, it would probably be best if I used a pair of these. Alright, so we got our jumper out. Now I'm going to install the cap. The capacitor that I'm using for this is going to be a 50 volt at 1 microfarad. And when we go to install this cap, we need to put the negative side facing towards the heatsink or facing towards the back of the radio. Go ahead and slide that cap in place. And then on the other side, I'm going to bend these leads over so we can go ahead and solder it in. Now that we installed the cap in this area, we need to install a variable resistor. This resistor can go from 0 ohms all the way up to 200 ohms. And we solder it in here. Solder the other side. I wasn't sure if I mentioned, but on these particular blue pots, there are 3 leads. You can cut either one of the outside ones on this side or the outside on that side. You're only going to use one of the outside ones and just the middle leg. You can get rid of one of the outside ones. So before I move forward with the CB, I have it all hooked up. I want to turn the dynamite control, which is also the mic gain on other radios, all the way down. Because I want to make sure that this dead key is not super low with that new variable resistor in. So I have our bird watt meter set up here, and it has a 50 watt slug in it because this radio doesn't do more than 50 watts anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and dead key the radio here. So a 4 watt dead key is definitely going to do just fine for us because we just need to adjust how many watts this radio can output when it's modulating. So we're going to take a look at this bird meter and see how many watts this radio is outputting stock the way it is. First thing I want to do is turn on this tone generator. It's going to put a steady signal into the microphone, which is going to allow the CB to modulate. So we're going to turn on the tone generator. So currently right now it's outputting about 17-ish watts, almost 18 watts. So right here in the back of the CB there is a coil here. We are going to put the tone in just like we just did, and we're going to make adjustments to this slug and see if we can get any more watts out of it. So that's about stock right there. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some more wattage out of it. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, 21 watts. About 21 watts looks like that's what we're going to get out of it. Now that we have adjusted the peak output for the CB, I'm going to take the dynamite and turn it all the way down, and we're going to set that dead key with that variable pot that we installed earlier. Alright, so we're going to adjust the dead key. We need this number to read 2.5. So let's dead key the radio. We're going to adjust the blue pot here. 2.5. Perfect. Okay, and last but not least, let's hook up the radio and get a radio check to see how it's sounding. And dynamite's wide open, RF gain all the way up. Alright. Let's go ahead and power this puppy on. Since I don't have the original speaker hooked up, I'm going to hook up an external speaker. Alright, plug in our mic. How about a radio check?
You sound real good to me.
Thanks, driver. Also, one last thing. Let's take a look at our carrier now. So this is after. Look how much smaller our carrier is. And then we can modulate. Audio. Audio. So this is it. This is how to modify a Cobra 29 CB radio. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.